going to see if potentially not using my mic helps. So I'll get that tested. So we've got some sound going. Sorry, first one to start with a live. I'll bring that over here. We have sound. Do we have sound coming through now? Probably terrible sound because it's not coming through the Yeti, but it'll have to do, yeah? Is it good enough? There we go. Oh, all right, let me get rid of that. Let me get rid of the YouTube link there. All right, guys, so we're going to go through this together. We're going to have a look at effectively a lot of things prior to in the next 9 minutes before we go live with trading. We wanted to make it as exciting as possible, as you're aware. So I think it's about sharing the experience together. We're launching on Base, which is a chain that has a lot of promise. It allows us to tap into a completely new market, I think, especially as we all have the firm belief that the Bitcoin and a bull run will return. So effectively, it gives us a really, really good opportunity to go from there and come into a market where I think a lot of people are on board through Coinbase with the brand that they've built and okay, so I'm just making sure we got sound. So yeah, so with Coinbase, being that entry point into base chain, we find we're pretty excited to sort of work into that ecosystem there and build and educate people, because a large part of what we do is education, right? So we're educating people about DeFi all the time. We're looking to go into the contracts, take you into base scan, things like that. We want to give you an experience where you start to understand exactly what's going on in the background. So that's the ideal situation. That's where we want to get to. Showing people how Adapt connects, what that front end user interface and how it interacts into these smart contracts that you can interact with and see all of the code online. You can verify it. You can read into exactly what's going to occur. So we want to go really in depth with people. We want to show them bridges like we've got on our DApp. We want to show them, DEXs, providing liquidity, earning emissions. There's so much that we can go through and explain and explore for people and take them on that journey with us. So that's a huge part for us. So let's get into the launch. The exciting part is we've got about $34,000 already on the screen here up for incentives for this epoch. So anyone that's already got your VE scale, I'm hoping you've already voted. So you can come through here, and there's so many options to vote for. So if you have an NFT, you come in here, you slide the slider across, and make your votes now. You've got 6 minutes to go, and if you haven't got your airdrop, then you'll be cutting it pretty fine to get there. I want to go in and I want to walk you through scale, the price. And before I start, I'm probably going to buy some scale while we go through this fee introduction system. So I want you guys to know that that's my personal funds. It's not like I'm buying anything with team funds or anything. That's my personal funds. I'll look for an entry at some point, I'm sure, and you'll probably see me buy if we're still continuing the live at that point. So I just want you to know that's me doing that. That's personal. So effectively, I'll give you a wrap on exactly how our liquidity pool works here. This is deployed on our DEX, and effectively is two parts of liquidity. So we've got the pool here, which has got the 1 million scale in it, and then we've got 11.61 ETH sitting next to that. You guys can't see that actually. So we've got the 19K, which makes a $38,000 pool. That's what everyone's going to enter into, and that's what's got a fee. It's not a tax. I've heard people say tax a bit. It's a fee, and that fee will then go to the gauge. So that fee will then, based on our launch process, will then come back and it will stimulate the scale ETH gauge on right there. So it's going to stimulate this gauge. We're going to start to see the fees build up there, and that's going to allow people to vote on that. But then that's going to incentivize more emissions for that. It's going to create a really nice sort of flywheel effect and really get the momentum going on our launch here on Base. So that's the scale pool. You can see it's down at 1.9 cents at the moment. Okay, so this here is just basically people getting the smallest amount. I think we had 2 or 3 scale units for testing, and now we're ready. We've got the pool set. It's set right here at 2 cents roughly, just under. And effectively, we've got that fee set at 99 cents, and then we've got it on our DApp here to basically time us in and then give you an understanding of where the fee is if you want to swap. So the idea and the premise behind it is it's a bit of like using lots of different systems to effectively sort of counteract and balance each other and have like a fair entrance point. It stops the bots coming through. It's going to allow us to see a gradual price increase. Those fees are going to come back and stimulate and make sure that there's good voting on it the week after. So it's a pretty cool system that was designed, and 543 came up with the idea. So I'm not going to take credit there. That was definitely his idea on how we would sort of progress and transition into the launch. And this is the first time this has been done on Base. This is the first time this has been done that I'm aware of. That's for sure. So it's a really unique system. It's something that we've done to try and create a level of excitement. And effectively give us like an entrance point so that the market can try and find its fair value, what it believes is fair. So trading is going to get open soon. You know, it's going to be such a high fee that I must warn against it. Definitely don't go in. I would not go in at a 99% fee. That's for sure. That's not financial advice, but it's definitely not probably the exact starting point you want to be at. We're going to start to see emissions turn on. Now, I want to go through that system with you. So what happens is effectively in the contracts, we have to call the first emissions. Now, they get automated by other transactions within the contract throughout basically throughout its life cycle, the contract system. And they interact with each other and they call those fees out based on an action. And I think it's claiming rewards and things like that from you guys. When you claim those rewards, that TX will then pull the scale across and into these gauges. So the first time round, we need to go in and every single one of these has a gauge. And then after the votes that come through, it's those that effectively determine the emissions that go through. So getting pretty excited. I can see we've got a minute to go. I just want to quickly have a look at what's going on here in the Discord. I want to make sure that, it was a bit nerve-wracking to sort of, leave the Discord and let it sort of go a little bit itself, because the team messages have been flying for days, weeks, months. So just trying to make sure that everything is exactly where we need it as it's about to go through. And I'm also going to monitor. I'm going to go back and forth a little bit. So I'm going to monitor the Discord just to make sure that I can see it's all taking off exactly as planned. Because we've done a launch before, and I can tell you it's a pretty crazy thing. I think we're in a much better position these days because we understand the system a lot better. Look, effectively, from what I'm seeing here, we've gone into Epoch on the system. So pretty exciting times, guys. We're doing it live. we're doing it together, and basically we're running through here, and the live slows up all my PC as well. I can't even get into the other chat, but yeah, everything's sort of rolling through now, I think. Let's get some flips going for our gifts that we put in every week. I love putting my Epoch flip gifts in. So um, encourage everyone to get excited, get engaged. We're going to start to see liquidity build up here. We're already starting to see volume come through. So we've had $88,000 worth of volume that's come through. Where we're looking at buyers are getting. This is what I'm seeing. Okay, we've got a couple of little buyers come through. So we've basically, as you can see here, we've got. I'm going to move out of the Discord. We've got $82 order, $16 order. So these are just little test orders coming through. So people are buying. You can even like click on here. Sorry, click on the transaction and go in, and then you can have a look at this. And it gives me a good opportunity to show you through the contracts. We've got base scan here. Someone's gone in. They've come away. They've put in 0.01 ETH to come away with 6.9 scale, and then they've sent 0.991944 ETH to that internal contract. So that contract now is our gauge. Sorry, our bribe contract, which is what gets voted for the next gauge. So I'm going to pop through here because what we're going to see, as I said, we're starting to see the fees already built up. So you'll see that. I'm going to get out of scale for a second. You'll see that all of these are basically all refreshed except for the ETH scale one. So we're starting to see people come in here, and these buys are actually generating fees. So we've got $192 in fees that have come through already for ETH scale, and that pool obviously is going to get voted on next week, and it's really looking to try and start that momentum. We're seeing fees come in for Pantheon as well. Basin's starting to get some fees. So I really think this is a cool part of our system. Our system is very different to all of the other ones because our fees accumulate live. So what I mean by that is our bribe contract receives those fees on every TX. So every time you do a transaction, that fee goes directly to our bribe contract. So you start to see them come up in real time. It's not like this is an estimate of what you might get based on what we're thinking over. This is exactly what's on the line to be voted for at this exact moment in time. And over the next week, it's going to start to build. Now, that's a unique part of our system that I think we probably don't always go over enough, but it allows you to have like that full transparency to know exactly what you're getting yourself involved for. So I want to have a check in. So I did want to bring this up, and I think it's going to be increasing very, very quickly, but DeFi Llama is not going to be updating live for us. But we're about to hit the $1 million mark, and I'll suggest we're over it now. And I'll see if it does update. But we're over $1 million in TVL on the platform. We've done that pretty much before launch. So, or if not before launch, we hit the $1 million mark. So, pretty excited in the amount of TVL that's now sitting there in those LPs, which is good. I'm going to quickly have a look and make sure everything was going out here on Twitter. Let's go and have a look. You're starting to get to see behind the scenes. We are always looking at this stuff. Like it's like there's normally 1,000 tabs open. Trading starts in 10 minutes. I think we've got another one to go soon to say that emissions are going live. So we'll start to see that come through. Make sure you give it a retweet and a like. Like we get so much support from the community. It's like it's fantastic that everyone gets involved and likes and retweets our posts. It's one of those things that I just love about getting up and sort of coming in every morning, opening the Discord, seeing that support that we get. So we see it on Twitter every day as people support us, like it. It's really, really good. So if you haven't already had a look at this medium, part 3 was the largest sort of medium. It had a lot of information, and it does go through this launch sequence. It gives you a really good understanding on sort of the thesis behind it. And I think it's something that you want to be reading if you're getting involved now. So um, just checking here to see exactly where we're at. So we're not really seeing many buys come through, and we're at 11:05, which is good. We don't want people coming in and buying way too early. See more fees come through, so you're starting to see the effect, and now you're starting to see what we sort of have engineered with this launch. Like we've got this fee structure that's now feeding that gauge. So everyone with V scale, and it's providing value. It's providing utility for this token. Like it's effectively a pretty cool system that we're building. We've got a 90% fee now, so we're starting to see it come down, and I really want to see where that happy medium or that point is where everyone really wants to start to get involved. Because the one interesting mechanic that I thought that comes from this reduction in fee is that you effectively get a balance point where it makes, a potential sense to come in. But also, anyone coming in early paying the higher fee, they're not pushing the price up as high because let's just say you come in with a 30% fee with a $10,000 order. That's $7,000 worth of scale that you get, but $3,000 back to the fees, right? So you might get in early, but you're only making a $7,000 buy order. So you're not pushing it up. And until we get back to a system where the fees come down to our level, we're not going to see and we're not going to see the price like get that full action because a lot of that's going across to the gauge, which we're going to start to see roll into here. So another exciting thing is like I'm pretty excited about all these people that are participating that got in and bribed with us. You're seeing there's a lot on the list here, a lot of new names. Go in and do some research. Jump in their discords, have a chat with the teams. I think it's really important to get to know your bribers because there's so many strategies that can go on, right? Like you can bribe, keep those tokens, start to build a position in something that you believe in or a token system. You can get those tokens, you can then LP them. So there's a lot of opportunity for you to there's a lot of opportunity for you to like do different strategies, play with it a little bit, earn tokens, pair it with some ETH, then earn more scale, lock that scale, vote, and flywheel yourself into different positions. I think it's really exciting if you start to understand the mechanics and start to have a look at what the possibilities are and what your different strategy could be. Like, there's a bit of game theory in what we do, and I think being up at the top of the strategy, something like this, I've seen people, and I'm going to give a little hint to some people. Some people have been coming to me saying, I've used GPT and it reckons based on this, based on emissions, based on a current price, based on a potential price, that this could be the best point to enter on this fee structure and get some scale. So, the game theory and the play that's going on in the background, to sort of see and strategize and work out where they think is going to be the opportune time to reach. Now, we're starting to see a couple more buys come through here, I think. So, what do we got? We've got $331 worth of buying. So people are coming in with some smaller amounts here. They're effectively, sort of buying it up a little bit. They're obviously those fees. Well, it's great to see it live. And again, I can display it. We've got $348 worth of fees sitting there now in that ETH scale pool. So it's really working exactly as we planned. And I think sometimes we don't give enough credit to the team as a whole and what they're doing in the background and the conversations that we're having. Like, give me a moment because I want to roll into our Discord. There's a lot going on in there, so it's going to be hard for me to keep up. But I'm going to, without going into the chats, but I'm just going to show you for a moment, like what's going on. Like we have just chats everywhere of every different topic, like threads that get built every day. I think they go up to 7 days. You've got to read. There's so many threads. There's so many channels. I'm surprised we haven't broken Discord yet with the amount of stuff that goes through. And I know people are going, oh, add an extra channel here or there, and I'm like if I showed you how far we've got to scroll down on this thing, like how many channels there are, how many, with the ticket system, with this. There's so much going on in this Discord. It's a mammoth of a system to manage itself. So um, I'm going to go back down here. I'm hoping everything's going good. But is everyone excited? Like, I can see the Discord at the moment. Is everyone getting involved? Is everyone excited? Has anyone got any questions? Give me a moment here. It's really people asking when do we buy? That I can't tell you. But that's up to you guys. So I think it's an interesting place to see like where does that equilibrium hit, but that's up to you. Um, the way I view it, and I'll give you my personal opinion and the way I see it, is we set this at a $200,000 market cap. Okay, so we definitely undervalued the token by a huge percentage. Okay, because that's hugely undervalued in position to equal on FDN. There's less tokens in supply. There's less V voters. There's more on-chain volume to chase. There's more users. So to give you an understanding, I think at 2 cents is like an unbelievable opportunity, right? And that's why I think we're going to start to see people playing and starting to see where that equilibrium hits from. So we've seen a $329 buy order just roll in there. That's going to contribute a hell of a lot of fees. So let's go and see what the fees. We're at 79% fee at the moment. So that's pretty bloody exciting, really. Let's go in. I want to check these. There we go. Let me do a quick refresh. It updates every so often. So let's see if a refresh helps us here, and we're probably going to get those live feeds as they roll in. I'm surprised that they're not updating quite yet, or maybe we weren't at 348 before. So there we go. Another $44 has come through. You don't need to. I'm seeing people ask slippage tolerance. And apologies here. This is my first YouTube live, so like I'm seeing people ask about questions. I should be answering them here for you. So the slippage tolerance, you don't need to adjust it because the fee is set in the background to make it all work. So don't worry about slippage. Just know that if you put in with an 80% fee, 10 grand, you're only going to get 2 grand worth of the token. Okay. So I think that's the easiest way to explain it to you guys. So we're starting to see people roll in here, but as I said, the impact on the price isn't going to be huge. And I shouldn't be on a 4-hour chart here. I don't even know why I am. So let's roll into the 15-minute chart. Let's go into a 5-minute chart. Let's get really exciting. So if you guys haven't used Dextrin and you double click that and you get to see, and if you move that out, you can bring just into that view. So in the 5-minute chart, we're at 11:14. We've just done a volume of 3,000 on that candle. Okay, so we're starting to see it pump there. We're at 2 cents. So we're sort of still hovering around where we thought that launch price will come in. Yeah. So this 5-minute candle will go soon. We're starting to roll in at sort of 2.1 cents. The bullish candle, guys, like that's bullish. I must say it's exciting to watch. We put a lot of planning into this. We went really hard at trying to do things exciting and different for you guys. So to see it finally playing out and the amount of development, there we go, $4,000 buy at 2.3 cents. And if we go back, we have a look, we've got a fee of 75% still. So I knew people were coming in a little bit early here. I knew that we'd get, some excitement. And I knew the fees would go like pretty crazy. We're at $1,200 in fees already, guys. So we're 15 minutes in. We've got $1,200 in fees, and we're at 2.7 cents. So here we go. There's another one. There's a $7,400 order. So that's come through, and that's taken us to 2.7 cents. So interesting to sort of see where this goes. I did think that we were going to see some fireworks, right? And I've been trying to explain it to people and show them what this is and how exciting it could be and the potential behind it. And I think the funny thing is, no one can understand exactly what's happening until you see it live. Like, I can explain this to you time and time again, and we've mapped out everything. We've come up with 14 different scenarios. We've debated it. We've argued it within the team. We've said we're not doing this. We're doing this, and then we get to the point where we find this great opportunity, and then we've got to try and convey that to people. We've got to let people try and understand exactly where we're coming from, the excitement, the amount of fees that are going to be there to vote for. That we set a price at 2 cents. People are saying, but how many emissions will I get at 2 cents? It's 400,000 at 2 cents. You guys are putting out 8,000 for the week. It's like, guys, we're putting out 8,000, but we're setting the price at this super low price, right? So we're going to let the market decide. I think this might be we're probably going to see people replicate this, right? This is very exciting. I'm sure everyone's excited, and it gives everyone that opportunity to participate at a level they want. Is this a real fair launch, guys? Tell me in the Discord, is this a real fair launch? Is this the first time you've seen everyone? You've got to make your decision here, right? There's no seed investors. This is completely, exactly fair launch. We put $40,000 worth of liquidity there, which is, not $1. We didn't just go, here's $1, guys, everyone burn in and get it. We went, here's $40,000 worth of liquidity that we put together. We popped it in there for you. There's 1 million scale tokens in there. We've now got emissions starting to come in as well. So what we haven't tapped into is people are out there farming, right? And I'm starting to, APRs are starting to line up. Let's have a look at it, guys. Hey, everyone's watching the buy side, or probably just me, but have a look at these APRs. We've got 59,000% APR on this ETH base. I didn't even see what they got to. They got through with the bribe in the end there. So no idea what that came through as a bribe, but the emissions are huge. Now, it's $16 worth of TVL. It's a pretty insane situation to have a look at and go, well, geez, that's a lot of scale to be earning there, right? And what's the future potential value of scale? What do you do with that scale? Do you get it? Do you lock it? Do you vote each week? Do you get in at this early entrance point and then just earn week on week on week on week? This is a fair launch. We're giving you the opportunity to come in and get in at a point where it makes sense potentially. I think at a low price like this, we're trying to make everyone excited and happy, and we're trying to reward early entrants because you take a risk, right? You're coming in, you're paying a 69% fee. Okay, that fee's rolling in. It's you're paying the price. You're coming in, you're getting excited, and you're coming in at early price. So hopefully you're rewarded for that. And what you're doing is you're stimulating this system to move forward because you're going to create bribe competition. So now other bribers will come in, and if there's $100,000, let's just use any number, right? Let's just say there's $100,000 sitting on that ETH scale pool. Guess what? If people want emissions, they're going to have to come in with nice bribes. And guess what? The scale price will represent the amount of opportunity there for people to come in and claim those fees. So I think we're starting to, I hope it's starting to cement with you guys exactly the opportunity, right? So one of the huge things that I noticed here, actually, let's go and have a look at the high TVL ones. Okay, so we've got $1.4 million worth of ETH USDBC at 8.6%. Now, the funny thing is, we're looking at these APRs, and I said, oh, look at this great APR, but the price is still 3.4 cents, right? So what about if the price was 40 cents or 50 cents? Let's just times that. So let's use 34 cents because it's 3.4 cents at the moment. We've got to times that by 10. That's an 80% APR at the moment, right? If we get to 34 cents. And we've sort of set this up to get pretty exciting and allow people to come in and enter at points where they think it's fair. Like, let's have a look at the market cap, right? We've got a $354,000 market cap. I've got deck screen open here. This is our deck, so we're starting to see stuff come through. But let's go and have a look at base swap. What's their token? If I remember off the top of my head, would it be one of the higher volumes that they've got going? Is it that their token, B swap? All right, so they're at a $1.2 million market cap. All right, but this deck looks interesting. I don't know a lot about it. It seems to have a lot of volume come through, but then they vanish. So I'm not sure exactly what's going on base swap there. Like this one's done 2.9 million with less than $1 liquidity. So that's an interesting observation there to go what's going on with this. But let's have a look at what Uniswap's done for the day. And like this is a great place to come through and see what's going on base, right? So Uniswap, they're pumping through their pool. They've done 1.2 million volume on that USDBC one with only a liquidity of 109k. So that might be their higher fee pool. But coming through here and learning is a great way to see where do you farm, where do you play this market, how do you earn a bit of this, how do you do that, how do you make your capital work for you? So let's go back and see what's happening. Oh no, we had a sell. Did I see a sell come through? No sells there. All right, 3.571 is the price. So people are, this is our next 5-minute candle. I think it's ended there. Oh no, we might be looking for another one there. So it's 3.5 cents at the moment, and according to we're at 64%. So, look, guys, it's exciting. That's all I can say. I'm very interested to see how we go. So we're 22 minutes in. I'm interested to see how much TVL we get locked up on the system early. I'm loving to see it, and I think we'll start to see TVL come in later because people are probably excited about watching this and how do I play this, right? So I think there's a huge part of that happening. Effectively at the moment, the big one's the 1.4 mil. The stable pool's building up as well. It's saying 20% APR, right? But like, let's be honest, guys. If we think this is going to be at 3.6 cents at the end of this, then that's way more than 20% APR. So it could be 200% APR. Who knows? Like if we're saying that a price of 36 comes in, 36 cents, then we can times that by 10. So if you are watching and you're thinking, oh, I'm not going to play this till right at the end, let's get some TVL on, right? Let's pop it in. Let's earn, all right? So if you haven't done that before, you come in, you click deposit, and then you just add, right? So you add, it's going to say, bang, add in there USDC, USDBC, create liquidity. Now, what we did with Equalizer, which is the first as well, is we connected the modules. So whenever you create liquidity now, it automatically stakes. So you start to earn scale straight away. Let's talk a little bit about scale and Equalizer as well, right? So Equalizer is our DEX. You operate it, you move from chain to chain. It's the brand that everyone knows. It's the brand that came in with a big rush on FTM, which started with a couple of, which was basically it was the first fork to adjust the mechanics on the fee structure and all that, right? So we came in with a really different model. We took the Solidly model and we put it into DEX format, all right? So that was the big change for us. That's where we took the rebases away, we reduced the locks. We did a lot, right? We did a lot of adjustments there to then come in, and then we saw some other really successful launches as well. And there was a couple of other forks of Solidly that came out. They did things a little bit differently as well, and they've launched on other chains. So that was Equalizer. Equal is the ticker, the token, right? If we think of it like that. On base, it's scale. That's it. That's the difference. We've got scale on base and equal on Equalizer on FTM, and we've got it displayed here, right? So one thing to point out, and I love it. Anyone that's paying attention now, and I want to make sure that everyone's aware. Just make sure someone doesn't make a fake equal on on base and you fall for it, right? So it is scale. That is our token. Make sure you only participate in scale, all right? And when you're investing or looking into any of these systems, like get involved, like get in the Discord, read the mediums, read the docs. I get it, it's exciting to ape, and you think, oh, who cares? I'll just try and make some money, right? But that's potentially the worst way because you're exposing yourself to unnecessary risk. If you just spent 5, 10, 15 minutes a day researching Equalizer, researching how the locks work, reading through the docs, there's so much jumping on our YouTube, right? So, where are we at? We're at 60% fee now. Starting to look pretty juicy, right? We're seeing this one pump there, 3.9. We've done 30,000 in volume. Okay, starting to see it sort of bump up a little bit there. There we go. There's one, 3.9. So interesting to see what the fee was on that. Let me see if I can quickly bring it up. I'll show you because that's going to have gone straight in. So the best thing is, guess what? All these fees are ETH. So let's talk about that too because that was 2.3 ETH came through, 1.36 cent across for people to vote on next week. But I want to go through this because this is important, right? And this is another part of it. So we've got $24,000 worth of fees sitting there in the ETH scale pool. Now, this was exactly what we had planned for. This is exactly what we wanted to see the flywheel get kicked with, right? And I want to show you something really, really important that we probably haven't gone through enough. And this is all ETH. So all of these fees are buying. So they're coming through, they're buying ETH. Now, we're not even going to need to pump scale in, liquid scale out to promote this for voting next week, right? We've got liquid ETH coming into this pool. And it's funny, I threw out a number to people saying that potentially we could get 100 grand, 250 grand on this pool for the week. Like, the number is going to go insane. And yes, this does come back to the lockers, right? Like, so if you're locked and you're in VE scale, then you've got the potential at the moment, 27 minutes in, to earn 25 grand or a portion of 25 grand here. So this is a crazy start to the flywheel, right? We wanted to go on to base and we wanted to make a big bang. We wanted to do things differently, right? If we're going to achieve what we did on FDN, the same success, to become the number one DEX by volume, then we're going to have to do things differently, right? We're going to have to work and get smarter. And we ground for every cent, every dollar that's come through on FDN. We ground and we ground. We got told that we wouldn't make it. So why are you starting the 900th DEX on Phantom? Why are you doing it? And then we've gone and we just religiously worked and worked and worked and we looked at every angle and we looked at every chart and we continually got an understanding on how we can be better, how we can improve. And that's exactly what we're going to do on base. Like, I don't think people expect exactly how hard we're going to work. Like, we are going to work extremely hard to make sure that this is a success on base and to take everyone with us, right? Like, we took everyone from FTM, we gave them a position, right? If you supported us, you now know that we're loyal to anyone that supported us, right? And I think we've created this whole atmosphere. We've created new people to teach other people, right? That was our thesis on FTM, was to build a community that teaches other people DeFi, right? And it's been very, very successful. So invite your friends in. Tell them the best place to learn DeFi is Equalizer on Phantom and Base. That's where we are, right? Our Discord is flowing with information. We've got hugely knowledgeable people on DeFi that operate on multiple chains that do all of these exciting things, and they have a knowledge base that they can share with you. Like, one of the key skills is find a mentor and emulate them, right? Like, come in, see how these guys are playing the game, see how these guys are doing well, and then see what they did. You know, they locked V equal, now they got V scale. Like, these guys know the system and they know what we're building for people, right? So we've just hit 6 cents. I'm seeing Jeff roll that through. I'm going to give it an emoji there too. Let's get some gifts flying as well, guys, because you probably know that I love my gifts. So let's get the excitement rolling in there. Let's get some old school gifts. Let's roll that. But 6.252 cents here, guys. Like, there's fees coming through like never before. I'm extremely excited to see that what we have been in, like the vision that we've had and what we've expected could occur in this launch is really, really starting to happen. And I've seen this: the Equalizer people who got the airdrop are the winners here. Um, like, imagine those people, and people say, "Oh, why you get involved with Equal and blah blah and FTM and there's been the multi-chain incident." Guess what? All those people now are hugely incentivized. We've looked after everyone the whole way, right? So I think we've proven it, and our team, I must say, like we've got like this awesome team that has such a knowledge base across crypto, DeFi, every aspect, right? And it's half time. Here we go, 5-4-3. Half time, 49% here, right? So do we cancel the live now? Do we just put down, or do we get more excited and we watch this one here? So only 50% of your fees are coming through now. We're starting to see a $1.6 thousand dollar. I'm interested. I might go back and check some of those early ones that came in at like a 90% fee or whatever, because then, or maybe I think some hard ones come in at 75%, because it's interesting to sort of see how you can, you only need a 10x, and then well, I think it's a 5. If you get a 5x, you're back to where you were. So I think it was an interesting sort of point to come in. I think it was risky, but that risk might pay off, and you come in and you're getting like a 2 cent scale, which is really, I suppose, 10 cents if you look at it, doing some napkin math there. So the party's about to get started. Groot, what a legend. He basically helps everyone out in support. I'm wondering if he's got everything down on like a notepad that he just copies and pastes, because the detailed information he gives you guys to help you on a daily basis is unbelievable, right? Like the guy goes to every depth to even help people with systems that aren't like issues they're having that aren't even related to Equalizer, right? So here we go. Ford just come in. We've got people who bought at 60% tax are in massive profit already, or in massive profit. So I think it's an interesting point. I expected it to sort of go like this, and be responsible, guys. Like down at these prices, I'm not too worried. Not financial advice again. I'm not too worried down at these prices, because like a $762,000 market cap is interesting. Nothing in crypto especially is guaranteed, right? But I think the market cap's quite low. It's an interesting point of entry. I just, I can't stipulate enough that this is like buyer beware. This is at your own risk. This is experimental stuff that we're doing, right? We're experimenting further with the blockchain. We're using the contracts that are there, and getting creative, and also like a strategy to see how this builds up a system, right? How we kickstart that flywheel, how we get it rolling, right? On to bullish. That's one of my favorite gifts. So let's roll a few more of them through. All right, I think it's the fireworks. I think it's going to start to get pretty interesting, right? So where are we at now? I want to have a look. They're at 45%, 45, 44. So we're rolling. We're a little bit under halfway. You know, where are we at? We've got. I'm just going to go here. I'll have a look here. I've only got 0.04 scale. I don't think I have enough, guys. Come on. 8.2 cents. All right. So it's heating up. The buys are starting to roll through here. I thought this would be a funny point. Like, it's interesting, isn't it? Because where does the price end up? That's interesting. Where does our fair launch go now? And what's the value? Like, I wonder how many people have got the notepad out right now doing math. Right? Where's that sweet spot? What do you think the earning potential is? There's this 8 million scale that are voting roughly at the moment. Let's say with all the airdrop claims at this current point. If there's $100,000 in voting or $200,000 in voting, what would be your potential return on that? Would you get at this price? Would you get 50% back next week? Like, who knows? Like, that's the type of math that unfortunately I'm alive and I can't go through and do it. I would be doing on a launch like this, but this is more for you guys, right? Like, I'm going to get involved. I'm going to buy. I'm not going to lie. I'm sort of looking. You guys are probably going to try and front run me, but guess what? It's for the fun, right? Like we work hard. We we want you guys to be excited. We want to build a community where we've got in our eyes one of the best crypto communities that there is. Everyone's involved. Everyone's knowledgeable. Um, we're starting to see that. Yeah, what are we seeing? We're starting to see that 42%. So we're starting to see it roll down. And Michael's popped in here. So what we're doing as well with the Discord is we're trying to put people in orange. If it's not already created, we're creating a channel for our bride partners, for partners in general. So we want anyone, anyone to come in and get involved. And these guys, it's like their channel. Like we obviously will moderate it to a degree, but we want to make sure that people are in there interacting with these people, understanding. Like we're trying to do things different. We're trying to give everyone an opportunity to build. So we've got Jeff GPT, here we go. It says 42 is the right number, right? Like, is it? Should I go? Should I go? Let's go. Oh, what do we get? Okay, interesting. Get ourselves, is that right? So we're gonna get ourselves 55,000 scale. All right. The numbers starting to look pretty interesting, actually. Starting to look pretty interesting. I think it's getting to that point where we're going to get excited. Look, all right. DeFi Llama has it been going on? I think it might only be a daily thing from memory. Like I just check it every couple of days. I'm pretty sure it doesn't update until the daily. So no, we got it. So we've gone to 1.2. I think that's lagging anyway. So we can probably get a better understanding here. What do we got? So farmers are coming in. So 1.74 million. We've got 730 in that stable pool, 21%. So you're starting to see, as I was saying, those APRs are going up as the TVL is building, right? So it's very, very interesting. Have we had a sell yet? Like, let's go in and see. Has anyone sold? Oh no, Brett! Interesting. Like guys, we promote we'd like to see everyone lock, right? Play the system, get involved with the flow. If everyone plays it, this game theory system obviously that was built is very, very interesting. And if everyone sort of gets in and plays together, I think it can be massive, right? Like we get the liquidity on. It's like owning your own little bit of Coinbase on chain. You get rewarded for the fees. The bribers come through. They incentivize their liquidity. There's lots to be earned, and we just get involved. Like it's funny. I look at it sometimes as more of a sunk investment, right? Like if I'm going to buy it, I'm going to lock it. I'm going to max lock it every week. In a bull run, I might sell an NFT or something. Well, I probably won't sell anything because I love my equal and scale, right? But like I just lock everything, vote each week, take the fees, buy some more crypto, take fees in what I like. It's interesting the dynamics and the play that you can have. I think it's I think there's so many ways to play the game that if you get involved, you lock it, you then interact, you LP to earn it. You didn't even pay for it, right? If you're LPing, yes, you put the liquidity on the line at a risk, but you didn't even pay for it, right? So it came through, you got that, just lock it, then you can earn. Like, I don't know. I think the system works well when everyone gets involved and does the right thing. I've had lots of partners reaching out saying, yeah, we're going to get it, we'll buy a little bit, we'll lock it, everything we farm, we're going to lock it, we're going to really get in and participate. And for me, that's exciting, right? Like, that's the name of the game, right? If everyone sort of gets involved and everyone gets excited about it and the system works, everyone gets a reward. It's interesting. So where's the fee at now? At 36%, right? Things are going to start to click up. Like, whoa, have a look at that one. We've got IT USD. We've got is that 1,000? Oh, someone's got a different. It's not the Aussie way to read numbers. Is that 1,000% with only 5,000? You can mint that stuff, pop it in. It's a great way to earn. 10.81, 10.89. I think the buys are starting to roll through. All right, what are we at? 30, 35%. I think we're starting to hit that sweet spot where I think we'll probably start to see people come and get pretty excited. We're at $329 buy there. We're starting to 11 cents. So it's interesting to watch this panel too because I think before I was going to get 55,000. Now I'm only going to get 51, but the dollar value looks pretty similar to me. I think GPT, some people were telling me, was an interesting perspective. It thought that the sweet spot was going to be around about this price, right? Like, so I think, I'm probably doing myself a disservice here. I'm watching out. I'm hoping it gets a little bit lower, and then I'm going to get front run. But yeah, GPT was saying that this was an interesting place, depending on the price. But I can't remember what price point it was considering that at. And I think that might have been a little undercooked. And I did think that the price was probably, it's sort of working exactly to numbers that weren't completely outside of what I was imagining. So you know what? Let's do this. Let's do a TX. Let's go in. Let's. Oh, gonna get wrecked here. This is me. This is my personal. Oh, don't tell me. Oh no, I've gone too much, guys. What an idiot. That's one thing not to do. Don't use all your gas, right? Because wouldn't even let me go. All right, I'm gonna reset. We're gonna get it. Here we go. Sorry, that's running around the background. Let's get excited, guys. I'm gonna give some fees to the gauge. We're going in. Let's get some scale, right? So what am I going to get about 50,000 scale? Not bad. Not bad, eh? Where's that? $9,000 order. There we go. Straight through. What do you come in? Beautiful. All right. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you my secret here. And a lot of time people don't tell you what they're going to do in DeFi, but I did set something up earlier. I'm going to farm it. Yep, I'm going to put it in. I'm going to tell me I've only got 4 ETH, so I can only put it with that many. Let's go. Let's create the liquidity. I'm going to pop it in there. I'm going to farm it. I'm going to earn some more scale because it's rolling through. I don't even know what it says, 200% or something at the time. So yeah, why not? It's staking it for me. So it probably wants an approval. It's going to stake it. Here we go. Let's see how that pans out, right? So, geez. Sorry, I'm doing it live. I'm not even watching enough here. Oh no, it's moving too fast. There we go. So I think, yeah, I think we're gonna maybe have to play with slippage here, right? Let me see. I'm gonna just go. I'm gonna put like 5% slippage. Probably gonna have to. Let me see what we get there. I'm gonna go with all of that. Try and create some liquidity at the time. 31% fees are we at? All right. Oh, did I go in? Not going to let me create the liquidity. So guess what? I might not be. Yeah, I might not be creating liquidity there. I don't know why. Let me try again. Maybe I'm trying to put too much in at once. I'm not sure. I'm going to go for a 75%. See if I can create that. The price is probably moving way too fast or something. Unless it's got something to do with the fee as well in the background, but potentially. All right, we've got that one in. So we've got some liquidity in there. I'm giving you the out. What I think might be some alpha here is to get some liquidity in and earn more scale early, like because there's not a lot in existence. So, there's like where are we at here? Let's go. No, what's the max I've got there? Got one. Just do that in case it moves around a bit. That might have been what it was. Moving around, it wanted more ETH at the time, so I couldn't accept what I was putting through. But here's, a good lesson, right, guys? Like, you got to sometimes, like, problem solve it yourself in DeFi. You got to have a look at it. You got to understand what's going on. Who else is buying? Like, is anyone else bought in there? Where do we go? We're at 19 cents, right? So the buyers are rolling through. I want to check the fees, right? I want to see. They've been pretty accurate. So we've got $46,000 in each scale. Pretty interesting, right? That's on for voting now. And we're 44 minutes in. So 44 minutes into the launch, we've got a lot of scale there. So what I'm expecting is APRs are going to be pretty crazy on each scale next week. So that's interesting for farmers, right? Like, what type of liquidity are we going to build? Because we're at $138,000 worth of liquidity now, so we've built that up. I'm sure some farmers are going to start to step in. It's an interesting place to be. We've got the fee starting to die down a little bit. What are we at now? We're at 26%. Yeah, it's those early buyers. People say we're crazy. Like, I was interested to see where people entered. Right, And you know what? If I was on this live, maybe I should have been entering and scaling in. Like, pardon the pun, but we should have been scaling in, going, do I get a little bit here, a little bit here, and just average that investment out. There's lots of different ways to play it. Hope everyone's excited and enjoying it, right? Like, I don't, to be honest, I'm on this live and I've never done one before and don't even know how many people are watching. So, um, tell your friends to come in and have a look. Like, everyone's going to copy the launch strategy. I love it. Do they do a live as well? Do they do a live at the same time and launch? Is that how we're going to do it? Are we going to get excited? We're going to watch the buy orders come in together. Like, 22%, 22%. And I want to just roll back to our decks. Where we're at. We done. Oh, that's Uniswap. Jeez, I forgot I swapped it. I thought for a moment we'd done $5.1 million in volume. That would have been exciting, eh? We've done $247,000 in volume, $94,000 worth of that's been in scale. Hence the fees that have been rolling through for that. We've got 146 in liquidity. Let's see where the big liquidity lies. Sort of in that, still there, only at 1.7. That APR is going to be zinging. We've got 856 sitting there, so that's building up nicely. Done $51,000 in volume there already on ETHUSDC, which is good and interesting. And we've got F-Bomb there. They're up the top there with 200%. Oh, sorry, are we going by liquidity here? Yeah. Yep. So they're up there, 279, 236 on Basin. So yeah, this is the scale ETH liquidity down here. So we're down to about 6, but I think that's going to really build. We've got ITX there, we've got Tarot that's building as well. Already starting to build up some liquidity there. The volume's starting to roll through for that. You're starting to get a good understanding on the data that we look at daily and we make our decisions based on, right? Like, the team is like looking at this like almost like like a Bible. Like, a deck screener is one of the best things that we got. Keep doing this error when trying to. So with that error on the 3%, if you're watching, you might need to put like going at a 75% hit up front of your ETH because it's going to move too quick. And you might want to set your slippage to, I set it to 5%. But what I'm saying is because it might want more ETH. So if it wants more ETH at the time you don't have it, you get that insufficient balance. If that's what's coming through. So maybe do it in 2 sections if you want to start to add LP. But that's an interesting play as well if you're looking to sort of engage and provide liquidity for everyone as they join here. 24 cents. Okay, interesting place to be on the launch. Emissions are flying in. I'm imagining we've got, pretty. So that's 46,000 equivalent, and that's probably going up. Won't be quite caught up here. We've got 45% APR on $1.8 million worth of ETH USDC. Okay, it's pretty high for this chain at the moment. So that's pretty good farming. But who knows what the price is going to be. Let's have a look at the market cap. So we're at 2.4 million market cap. Interesting place to be. We set our tokenomics pretty interestingly. We think we've sort of nailed it pretty well here in a way to get them at a nice spot and make it really exciting for people, but also sort of reward people. Try and keep inflation at a managed level. Like, to give you an understanding, and I went through this with some people, Solidly launched with 100% inflation week 1. We're launching with 4%. So I think that's a pretty good thing. And we launched a lot higher with Equal, actually. Equal had a higher percentage of inflation, but it gives a crazy voting APR. And I think that's a little bit of a negative as it runs away really quickly, right? But if you start it where we think we hit it, we timed a sweet spot, I think that's a really good thing. But the big thing that I'm going to go through and I'm going to show you now, and this is huge, right? This is something that we did uniquely. And we don't have rebases, we're rewarding that way. But so the emissions have gone out for this one and there's 400,000, right? But we are decaying, and this doesn't give it justice because it's on a wide screen. And just need to open this on a mobile phone, and you'll see when you actually compress this, it's moving down really quickly. Now that's a 2% decay. So this is how many emissions are going out next week. This is how many emissions are going out the week after. And you're seeing how quickly this is going down, right? And the reason it's like that is we want the emissions to go down and sort of the price to be the determining factor for APR. But what this does is we call it a reverse rebase. it actually incentivizes people to lock more because they're not getting diluted as much. Okay, and that's one of the things that you've got to find a balance in these platforms, right? Um, yeah. Okay, perfect. So he got his LP in, which is good. Good to see. Glad to see people are using the system. It's working. Like there's a lot going on, and pretty happy with how the DApp's holding up. So there's been a lot of work that's gone on in this DApp. You'll probably see it's very custom. It's very unique in the space. The way it works fairly seamlessly, right? And the interesting part of this DApp is that it's got multiple systems. It's engineered in a way that's not like other DApps. I'm not going to go because it's a bit of a secret sauce, and you see how quick it snaps. Like we're snapping around. Like it's very quick. The data is flying. So hats off there. This has been built really well. And sometimes we don't like give enough justice to the tech in the background. Like these contracts and what 543's done as well is like build up these fantastic contracts. What are we at? We only had 100,000. We got $54 in sales. Wow, equity already. It's a bit of work for us there. We have been heads down. Like literally, we have not stopped. We have not stopped. We've been like the team on every angle, and like we have just been under resourced, working at everything. The community involvement and help has been phenomenal, right? Like everyone's got in and just helped. They help us at every point, which is fantastic. We've got the equalists, so when they bought or got in with 5,000 V equal, they got that position. They qualify. Now we're going to adjust that for V scale for anyone thinking, and I think we need to update it. I did notice on the DAP, so I'll make a correction there and an apology. But the equalist level will adapt slightly, I think, because we'll try and make it more manageable. We'll see where we sort of land there, but because obviously there's more tokens in this instance, and we did that in a strategic way. I think we wanted to see how we could play with that a little bit because I think we had not enough tokens with equal, which meant the price was really high, and there's some psychology things that go along with that. So we made some drastic changes there, and we'll reevaluate where the equalist sets. But that's been a great group. Like anyone that's involved in the equalist loves it. There's great alpha that goes through. They feel part of something, but they help out every day. Like they give us great ideas. We work in and sort of work with those people to sort of get like run ideas past them, see what their thoughts are. Because sometimes we might have an idea in the team, we want to see what we want to test it. And I'll go back to one thing that we said when we launched, and we're not a DAO. We're a community-based project. We do everything to do the best for the people that get involved, right? And I think that's evident. We did it with Equalizer, Equal. We're doing it with Scale. Decision we make, it's debated heavily, and then we go with that decision with full confidence in every decision we make. We're not going to make the right decision every time. Everyone's not going to be happy, and we know that. We cannot keep everyone happy. We can try our best to keep as many people as happy as possible. That's why we started at such a low price. Things like this, right? So now we're at 12%, right? Things I think start to get interesting at 12%. We're at a $2.7 million market cap. Interesting point to be at, right? With 12%. I thought people would roll off a little bit. They'd be like, oh, okay, do I go in at 12? Like some people don't want to part with it with such a high fee. I get that. And then where are we rolling here? So we're back here on our vote fees. They've got 50,000 on there. Yeah, look, which is interesting. I thought it would be around about this number by this period here. So it's a pretty unique, interesting number. But 27 cents. Yeah, I thought we might be higher actually. But anyway, it is sort of an interesting platform and way. And I think the FOMO sets in. People are looking. We're looking at 5-minute candles. Let's look at it on an hourly. That's going to be interesting. Yep. It's a very early candle, isn't it? Like I do want to, I would like to see it build up because I think that's interesting, and I want people to do the math. And I think the more cautious people will come in, they'll do the math. They'll go, if I locked it today, what would be my return even next week? Like if I could lock it today and get a 10% return back next week, well, that's interesting. You know what I mean? Like we've got all votes in, so let's have a look at the voting APR. So currently, each scale, if you vote on this next week, is it only has 11% of the vote at the moment. But if you were to vote on this next week, it's saying it's 1,300% APR. That's So how quickly could do you sort of get it back if you're purchasing at this price? Is a very, very interesting mathematical thing to do, and I think that always helps to work out where people think fair value is. So it's been up only, so it's interesting to see that a couple of people are selling it, and the interesting part is here. Like I didn't quite expect this dynamic, but we're getting people selling here that are that are probably in profit that have come through from the start. So they're starting that new entry point. Now the fee's gone down. Geez, did these guys get a better entry than me? I think they might have. Maybe the point was to buy with a 2% fee. Who knows, right? But I think it was a fair launch, right? Like we've got 11:55. We've got 5 minutes to go on our launch fee structure. We've we've pushed the limits. We've got $137,000 in liquidity. We've got $117,000 in volume. People are starting to take some profits. They might enter again. That's a trading market, right? Like I think it's interesting to see they're paying their debt. They're paying the 10% fee for exiting at that point there. People are seeing where's this entry point sort of sit, right? Where does a fair value sit? A $2 million market cap is pretty interesting, and I like that it hasn't ballooned to 20, 30, 40. I've seen some go to $200 million market caps, and you go, geez, that's humongous, right? But I'm pretty confident and happy and healthy at $1.9 million market cap with already $50,000 in bribes for this week. Let's go and have a look. That's one thing with our vote page. Like you can come in and see what the incentives are pretty quickly. Yeah, people have got no patience. Always looking for the lowest profit, smallest profit. Well, some people want a profit. That's how they play the game. It's interesting. You know, I'm probably a pretty bad trader. I've definitely looked at charts a lot, put a lot of lines on, and definitely come away not winning a lot of times as well. So what have we got? So these fees are building up here. We've got over $50,000 in fees. But you can always come along and look at those top incentives, right? See as those bribers come in, what they're prepared to put. So an interesting math. Like I'm just going to pull up the calc. So if we know that we've got, let's just run with the 400,000 because that's an easy number times 0.19. So we've got 76,000 in emissions to go next week. Pretty good. Interesting because we've got over 50,000 coming through. So I think I think it's an interesting point to have a look at. And I wonder if people don't want to pay the fee. If there's that game piece of you that's just like, I'm not paying a 5% fee. No way. I'm waiting for a better entry. I'm waiting for it to go to 2%. So I think that's an interesting thing to watch, right? And what's our 1 hour volume? So we've come through, we've done $124,000 in our first hour, almost first hour. The fee's starting to come down to our normalized level, so 4%. It's going to sit at 2%. So it's going to allow the traders to get involved. It's going to allow people to get in and have a look. It's going to allow the bigger buy orders as well, I think. So, let's have a look at what the largest order was here. I want to have a look. Let's just 5,000 minimum. So yeah, so we had a 10, a 5, and a 7 come through pretty early, which was good. So that was good buys in early. Starting to see it normalise now, come back to a point where the fees are good. So I'll be interested to see how trading goes and see how people want to get involved, see what their thoughts are. What's going to tax almost gone? What's going to happen now? Are people excited to get in and play it and try and get their entries now? Are people going to lock? And I want to say it's not a tax; it's a fee, right? That fee went straight back went straight back. So what's it? 14K a day. So beautiful, beautiful. That means there's not a lot to catch. And the way I look at it as well is because all these that come through, all these sort of emissions that come through, in a lot of ways, people might exit. So there might be someone there that needs to purchase those to make it even. So we're getting to 2.46, right? Are people front running now? We've got 20.8 cents. So it's interesting to see if people are going, the fee's going to stop at 2. So we're almost down to the full LG launch process, right? So all right, 2%. People are like, okay, let's have a go here. I'm seeing it bounce. I'm seeing it bounce there. It's gone to 23. Is it not staying here or is it? I don't know why the candle's not going. So it's 20. It looked like it was going to 23 on the top, but it's 20 there. So we've started to see a few more buy orders come through, more reasonable sizes now. Someone's come right through there at 11.59 and with a $5,000 order. So they're like, all right, 2%, here we are. We're going to take out entry point at 20 cents, $2 million market cap. And we're gonna get involved. We're gonna have a go here. So let's see how we're going for volume today because I want to just check and see if we're on this. We've got $316,000 in volume. We'll have to get Xstream to get us up here. They want to see a certain amount of volume and liquidity on the platform first. So we're down as an unknown DEX. We have put our application through. I didn't want to click that link, so let's get rid of that. We put our application through, done $316,000 in volume today. Let's have a look. We've got DEXs, down here. So we're, sitting at about 400. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're at 7th DEX. We've had an hour of trading. Let's see where we sit today. And, it would be interesting to get our name up there on the board as well because as it moves along, it's it gives us that little bit of a little bit more presence so that people can see our DEX performing, can see the volume. It's all natural volume. It's coming through. We've done some nice volume there on the USDC. Sorry, that's not even our. We're looking at the wrong DEX there. Sorry for that. Look, I just knocked on equal there. So guys, I want you guys to know that we're here to support everything. Like our systems are in place. We put them in place. They're automatic contracts. They do a job. Whatever we have programmed to them, they just continue to do. The economic system has been created for that system to work. It's a liquidity hub on Phantom for equal. It's a liquidity hub on Scale for Scale. We can make little small tweaks, adjustments if needed. We're supporting it from our DApp so that it's all integrated into the same DApp so that you can easily use it. Where no matter what network, whether you're on Base or on Phantom, you're able to come in here and swap through our aggregator swap. So that's a great point. You can come in here and make swaps simply on our DApp. So you come in, utilize us. We're going to route through fiber. We're going to give you great rates. We've got a bridge, right? Like if you want to get some funds over to Base, you want to farm, you want to buy some scale, you come in here, you select the bridge you want to use depending on the network you're coming from, and your Stargate might be better on Squid. Maybe you want to have a look at both, right? I've done some tutorials to show people on exactly how you bridge across. So there we go. We're at 12:03. We're 3 minutes in since it started. Could have secured the initial $1 today or tomorrow. That's an interesting one, right? Like, who knows, right? Like, and we put a system together. We put some good tokenomics together, and then we let the market decide. Like, what we didn't want, we did not want Equal to go to $4 million, and then it just to be a down-only chart for the rest of our lives, right? So we were like, you know what? We want to do this in a way that it builds excitement, builds liquidity, and also gives all of these early entrants a great spot because we're the most unique in the way we launched, in the way that we launched Equal at 20 cents, and anyone that bought a year ago is still massively in profit and they've been earning and earning and earning because we set this really, really low price where people are like, oh my God, like it just kept going up and up and up. Let's have a look at the Equal chart, right? I think we did a good job there. Obviously, we had some network effects, and you only need to go back and have a look at the volume on Phantom, which is elastic, right? Our price is what dictates that. So if we go along and we have a look at this launch period here, let's open it right up. Oh, gone the wrong. Sorry, guys. Give me a moment. I'll get it there. No. All right. So let's have a look here, right? And the moment I bring that in, doesn't like it. So we started at 20 cents. Well, let's have a look at where we started. We went down to 5 cents from memory, right? And then we've shot up. We shot up. That was the bull, right? That was the bull market. Bitcoin was flying. Price was flying. You can see from the volume, right? That was happening on our decks at the time, and people rode this. There was hundreds of thousands of dollars of fees coming through and bribes. And people are still in profit. People that got in early, and that's what we created, right? We created this system that allowed and made sure that we had happy people, right? We wanted to have people happy, people that joined, people that took the risk, that backed us, that stood by us, that built our community, that educated everyone else. They got a great entry, and I think that was very important to us. But we've got a $1 buy, right? That's just fantastic. Sorry if you're watching there anymore, but I thought it was interesting. Gas is low, so it's probably not the worst. We're starting to get a market, right? We're starting to get some sells. We don't only want buys. We want to see sells. We want to see entries come through. We want to see dips for people to get in and get better entry prices. And that's going to create volume, right? And that volume is going to come back. And so we've got a 2% entry point. Everyone calls it tax. I love it. It's a fee. The fees are 2%. Let's go in here. Let's have a look at the vote. Let's see how many fees. All right, so we've got, according to this 50,000, I'm not sure it's completely up to date, but I would suggest it's probably not far off. So $50,344 in fees. So we're going to start to watch this market. We've got 7 days to see how much trading volume comes through as we build liquidity. We've got a nice APR there on liquidity. Let me have a look. Got here, so we've got 314% APR sitting there. And I think we're just going to start to see, it depends where we're going to see it go, but it's going to be interesting to see how people go around low liquidity. So price is going to be volatile. Be wary. Price is volatile there. We're going to see it move around a little bit. I'm gonna switch off the live. I'm gonna leave it with you guys. It's been fun watching, this experience, which I think we're going to see a lot of other people look into. It's been exciting to watch, or from my perspective, it's exciting to participate and provide this live for you. We've got scale price up in the Discord, which is fantastic. So now you can start to have a look at it. I'm starting to see things come through. Good launch. Everyone's excited, right? Let me know when we hit the 10 million market cap. You guys let me know too. But I'm going to sign off here. Exciting times, guys. Enjoy.